This is Andi Purewal for Boxing Social in association with Betfred, and I'm joined by Carl Froch, who is in a bit of a rush because his cab has just arrived to get to the airport. Carl, it's just the morning after the night before. We caught up last night, a bit more time to think about things. Looking back now, what are your thoughts?
I just realised I spoke to you last night. Nothing's changed. I've not heard anything about Billy Joe Saunders' eye. I don't know if you have.
So it's, I think, an orbital fracture or something like that is what I've just seen. I don't want to get it wrong, but that's what I think it was called.
Yeah, so confirmation of the orbital fracture. Fight was stopped by Mark Tibbs. Fair enough stoppage. He knows his boy. He's got his safety as paramount importance when he's in that ring. And Canelo was coming on. He was coming forward with the big shots, looking to get the fight finished. And there was still another 3 or 4 rounds left. So, you know, in hindsight, probably saved Billy Joe Saunders' health, and maybe his career.
Just some people over social media were saying that they felt Billy Joe would quit. Just your thoughts on that?
I think it's harsh to say someone's quit unless you're in that position yourself. I mean, some fighters go out on a shield and like to say, you know, I'll fight to the death and all that and be brave. But sometimes there's a fine line between bravery and stupidity. And me myself, I've been involved in fights where I've been injured and hurt, and you know, broken hand, broken ribs, perforated eardrums, etc., etc. And you just carry on. But you know, it's every single case, an individual case, has to be looked at. And if you're going to criticise somebody who's got an eye socket fracture and they've got a serious injury like that, and they can feel it, and they're talking to the coach, it's a joint decision between the coach and the fighter. And Mark Tibbs pulled Billy Joe out of the fight. It's as simple as that, and he made the right decision, in my opinion.
Just on the Canelo front, Carl, how special of a fighter is he?
Yeah, Canelo's pretty special. Let's be honest. He's fought the best of the best. Mixed it with the elites. His resume's amazing. It really does stack up with an all-time great. I mean, fascinating, really. It's amazing what he does and who he's fought, and only lost to Mayweather, and obviously Mayweather's Mayweather. So you can't really give Canelo much criticism at all. And just when you think he may be slowing down or he's not busy enough, or someone like Billy Joe was winning rounds, because he won a few rounds on my card, Billy Joe Saunders did really well. But you just feel that Canelo's got all the gears and he's got more to give. And he can always go that extra, pick the pace up and just do more. So I can't see anybody beating him. I mean, no disgrace for Billy losing to someone like Canelo Alvarez. And he should be proud of himself for putting up such a gallant performance. I mean, I was sat there ringside, round one, and when Canelo backed him up to the ropes and just got his feet in range, did a little slip to the side and then wallop. In when that big body shot, I thought to myself, fuck that, big heavy body shot. And Billy sort of half blocked it, half soaked it up. And you see the look on his face, then he realised, right, I've got to make sure one of them don't hit me on the chin. And unfortunately, as the fight dragged on, he started to get to him. And he got one on the eye and smashed his socket in. So that's the fight game, it's the hurt game. Billy Joe Saunders should be really, really proud of himself. He performed really well and did what not many people thought he could do.
You said in your answer a little bit earlier on there that you don't really think there's anybody who can beat Canelo, certainly at 168. People seem to think that if he was to lose, it would be up at 175. Do you think that would be the most likely chance for him to lose if he was to move up to 175?
Yeah, I think that's a realistic assessment to make. You know, it's fair enough, because at 175, I think he's just out of his depth. I know he beat Kovalev at that weight, but it was a fading Kovalev, and he came back down because I think he realises that these are big boys. They're tall. He's only 5'8", Canelo. Some of these light heavyweights are 6'4". You know, even the 6'2" has got long reach. And I know he beat Callum Smith. Callum had a bad night, to be honest. But still, the proper heavyweights, light heavyweights that punch hard and they've got range. Canelo don't really need to be mixing it with them. Just stay where he is.
Final thing, Carl. 70,000 fans last night. How great was it to see such an attendance?
It was amazing. You know, to sit there in that crowd, that atmosphere. We've not had it for so long with this COVID nonsense, you know. So, hopefully this is a step towards things to come for Britain as well, because it's just amazing. I mean, we've missed out on so much in the last year, and to do this last night in Texas, it's put a smile on my face.
Right, Carl, I'll leave you now to crack on. Thank you for your time this week. Thank you for speaking to Boxing Social.
Pleasure, as always.